think it's more of an advantage for me fighting 56 days after my last fight than, you know, Sara fighting 10 months after hers. I mean, if you think about it, this would never happen in boxing. You would never see two guys fighting for a title with one guy having a 10-month layoff. No promoter would let him do that just because they'd be so worried about ring rust. They would have him have a tune-up fight first and then fight for the title. And so I think it's more of a problem that she has not fought in so long than I fought so recently. Because I mean, I've looked at, me and my coach have looked at all my past performances, and I always had my best showings when there was a shorter turnaround. You know, everybody presents their own unique problems, and she brings her own unique things to the table. And people have tried a bunch of different ways to approach me and approach a fight, and I always expect that they're going to come out with something different. And so we'll see whatever different ideas that they have, but we pretty much focus on not so much what the other person's weaknesses are, but we focus on what my weaknesses are and do everything that we can to close them for the whole camp. The more the focus is on me and making it so whichever approach that they have, we have an answer to it. Instead of really worrying about how I'm going to catch her, we kind of more spend time on how I can make myself uncatchable. Sara is, you know, on paper she's an amazing athlete, and athletically you could say that we're very close to equals, and that's why people are, you know, so excited about this fight. But I think that I'm more of a fighter than she is. I can tell that this title is not as important it is to her as it is to me. You know, she has a kid at home, and she has to go home to that kid. And I can afford to be selfish where she can't. I'm willing to die in there, and she can't. There would be no movies or anything like that if it wasn't for me fighting. No one would care if I wasn't doing well as a fighter. And there's, you know, quite a few UFC champions, and there's quite a few action stars, and there's no boths. And I want to be the first one to do that. And a lot of people doubt me, they say it's impossible, and those are the things that really motivate me, is the doubt. I get concerned. You know, I do have my concerns about this pay-per-view. It's a really quick turnaround, so I really haven't given people a chance to miss me. And it's after two huge pay-per-views, the Super Bowl card and the New Year's card. And you know, and when I'm the headliner, all the pressure really does fall on me to deliver. And you know, I've had so many fights and so much movies and all this stuff. It's just it wasn't the best of my fight camp to do as much press as I did as the Carmouche fight. I really had to cut it down. And I do worry about these things, but it's like the number one issue in front of me is the fight. The pay-per-view second, and I have to do what's best for the fight and what's best for me to win. And so, you know, I've talked to Dana about, you know, whatever concerns that I do have, and he says, like, look, it's my job to sell pay-per-view. Just worry about winning this fight. The stakes are always higher, and that's the situations that I always do the best in. You know, I started judo at the very beginning with the intent that I was going to win the Olympics at it, and I was groomed from the very beginning to perform the best in high-pressure situations. You know, I didn't want to be a dojo fighter. You know, the guy that, you know, was really good in the gym and then or did really beat good people at tournaments that didn't matter, but when it really counted, they folded. I was always brought up to be the opposite, and so I purposely stack things against my favor to make the stakes higher. Like the last fight, I purposely did the two movies right before to make it harder. I mean, how else could I get people to doubt me that I was going to beat Nisha and Hardy beat her before? I had to stack, you know, the odds against me in a certain way. And with this fight too, I had to do the quick turnaround. It's what makes it more difficult, and it seems more impossible. And after I beat Sara, I mean, it'll be hard to come up and keep being creative and thinking of something else to make it even harder.